put up a couple questions today, and I asked some people, I said, have they ever done yoga and have they ever tried meditation? And the feedback was, well, 90% of the people who responded said they had for both.
Cool.
So I think what's great about that is when they've tried it, but I don't know if they've thought of it in the form of golf, right? They might have looked at it in a different way. So I was on your website, or sorry, the Instagram page, and you wrote a post, which I thought was a good way to kind of lead into meditation, how that can be a form of something that we can use when playing the game. And you put on there, quoting from you, said, to awaken the golfer within is to recognize the thoughts that rob us of our greatness. So some of those thoughts that you put down were worrying about what others think. And you specifically said that this was a big one for you. And
Yeah.
speaking on that exactly, when you said it's a big one for you, what is it about worrying that affects your game?
Well, just that one specifically, I mean, over the years or how I've been raised was to always, be the people pleaser and make sure everyone's super happy and put everyone else before me. So that's a big one for me. And I feel like that has, in the moment of a golf shot, if I'm worried about maybe who I'm playing with, how they perceive me, or how, how I'm going to look or what my score is going to be, it's definitely has an effect in the moment of how I
Yeah.
swing the club. Yeah.
You obviously have some things that you use to help you out through that, because you're not the only one who goes through those when you're playing the game. The idea
Right.
that, everyone's kind of looking at me when I'm hitting, which is, everyone, first of all, you're kind of quiet. You're supposed to all be quiet and keep your distance and just allow the person to hit. So what are you doing? You're watching them. That's it. So it's hard not to feel the pressure on you.
Right. Exactly.
So what can we use to help us out using some either yoga or meditation that can help us in that moment?
Yeah. So, I mean, the idea with meditation, yoga is to bring your awareness back to you, back to your body, back to your breath. We all have an overthinking mind that is constantly on the go with worries, fears, judgments, whatever they may be, but it's constant. So to be able to connect back to the breath, back to the body, starts to at least detach ourselves from this little monkey mind that we have and lets our nervous system begin to relax and find sort of a sense of peace and calmness. Then the body from there can actually have freedom to move a club effectively, efficiently. Without that peace, it's going to be in a state of stress and it can't move the way it needs to hit the ball
I could
or
see
hit the
that
shot that you want.
for sure. I
Hmm.
know some of the feelings I would have is I always find my mind gets racing when I'm playing, and it just kind of flows through. And I never thought of it until you brought it up, but I could see how taking a deep breath and just trying to eliminate those thoughts could really give me that advantage to just hit the ball opposed to worrying of the outcome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Some of the other thoughts that people obviously have that this can help with is trying to hit the ball straight.
Hmm.
I mean, I like that you put that because obviously when I play the game, a lot of my shots are always off to the left. I'm a left-handed golfer, so I always, and they're
Yeah.
off into the trees. And then it's like, well, that's, I kind of get, I guess you could say, used to it, but it's still, I'm trying to use words and phrases to make me feel like I'm not upset the fact that it just went into the trees and I have to now drop that ball. Um, is there things that I can use in those moments that can help me out with what you were just saying?
Yeah. So um, I've just found in my hundreds and probably thousands of lessons really that I've taught is just that we've when we're in effort of trying to make it do something specific, make the ball do something specific, like make it go straight, we can just put this extra constraint on the body, and it's not allowing the technique to be free flowing and come out in that moment. So to notice that our mind's going, oh, I really want to hit this straight. To be aware of that thought is number one. And because then once you're aware of it, then you can have some power. Then you're taking your power back, if you will.
Yeah.
You're not just succumbing to that thought and then you hit the ball and you're trying to make it straight. So you're swing to something super funky, trying to make it go straight.
Yeah.
It becomes really rigid, those types of things. So it's just kind of like bringing awake or awakening ourselves to those thoughts that put the constraints on us, so we can, so we can come back to a feeling of a golf swing that gives us everything we're looking for. So whether it's wanting to hit it straight, whether it's wanting to hit it as far as we can, that's another thing that really ties up the body in knots.
Yeah, I like that.
It takes us away from the actual game of golf, just the shot, just the swing, just the shot that we have in front of us. All the outcome pieces that we think are important take us
Yeah,
away. Yeah.
that's so great. I almost feel like I'm being calmer as we're talking about this right now. As I'm thinking
Yeah,
about it, I'm just
that's good.
relaxing myself. Um, Obviously, other things that people would use, making sure the swing is done correctly, we talked about comparing ourselves to others. I mean,
Mm.
and then constantly concerning ourselves with score and outcome. So those are all kind of things that we would use in that front. Um, you say obviously becoming conscious of these thoughts allows us to reclaim our power, as you said, and gives our body a chance to move with freedom and ease necessary to complete the task, which is what you just said. So it shows that you're really using those terms and words when you're going through your coaching process with
Yeah,
us, right? It's
yeah.
ingrained right up here for you, everything you say and do, which I love. That's so
Mhm.
cool. Um, is there any breathing exercises we could do right now that would help me or help others if we were to think about ourselves when we're in that moment, any of those moments? Because obviously those moments can happen constantly
Well,
throughout.
absolutely. Our whole life, I mean, our whole day to day is constant moments that take us away from the present moment, right?
Yeah,
Where it's just, I mean, that's what just our brain or our mind constantly is doing. So, like, as a practice, whether it's on the golf course or not, it's, yeah, we can do that right now. Where if you just, be comfortable in your seat.
I'm as comfortable as I can be right now. I actually got a very cozy chair, so I'm doing good right
That's nice. That's good. I'm on a bar stool, so it's not very comfortable.
now.
Um, but if your feet are on the ground,
Okay.
I suggest to kind of connect to that feeling. Just feel your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Even take a moment. I would close your eyes. Okay, so we'll both do that. And anyone who's listening in, just close your eyes for a moment. Again, feel your feet on the ground. Let your let your spine be tall, your arms and shoulders relaxed. Relax through your jaw. And all you're doing here is now sort of being aware of your breath. Just noticing your breath float in and out. And with each breath, all you're doing here is looking to lengthen your breath. So longer inhales and longer exhales. And you're looking to let that breath move all the way through your body, all the way down to your toes, and all the way out. And just simply notice and check in. Does your body start to feel different now after these breaths? Can you sense, does your nervous system feel a little bit more calm? Yeah. And let you open your eyes, kind of come back.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You know,
So I don't know
go
how long that was, but that's just a simple, like, just connect to the breath, connect to the body.
I really like when you say feet on the ground and feel the ground.
Yeah.
Like that was easy to go to that. And then as you were saying to breathe and follow it through your body almost. Weirdly enough, you could almost feel like it was just going in and just moving throughout, which I don't know, but that's just what I was feeling, and it felt good. I don't know if I felt that before. I don't know if I really tried it in that sense, and it was really neat. I did definitely felt a lot calmer after that. I'm ready for anything now.
Cool.
That
Yeah,
was
it's
neat.
interesting because I'd be interested to chat with other people, professionals or people who are um, play a sport at a high end. It'd be interesting to, hear their experience with that when they're in a state of, fear or worry or angst. What do they do? Or what are some things they can have in their back pocket to sort of, you know, ground themselves again?
Yeah, for sure. And in all sports, sometimes being the coach, you're with that athlete, and there's that tendency, or parent, you have that
Mm-hmm.
tendency to always want to say something before they're about to hit.
Mm.
That, oh, hey, do that. Oh, no, no, oh, no. And I think just thinking of this shows, just let them have that moment to do this. Don't say
Yes.
anything, get them to it, because those distractions of you feeling that you're providing some insight, you're just stopping them from maybe being able to do something like this that could calm them right down.
100%. And even um, the idea of, when we are in a fear of how we're gonna score or outcome of the golf shot, and what that does to the nervous system. Well, even as the coach, if we are looking to want to see an outcome in a student that we're coaching, um, feel like we're kind of almost giving them a disservice, right? We're
Hmm.
imposing our worry, our fear, that we want to make sure they're performing in front of us. So for us as the coaches to be able to really come back to this centered place and hmm, allow them to find that place for themselves.
Yeah, no, completely. I can think of a lot of scenarios where just in my general coaching that I always choose to try to not say something, right? And I
Hmm.
think at first when you're young at this sport, you think, oh, let's say a bunch of stuff. And as you get older, you start to realize that you need everyone to have some space and time and let them get into their own zone. There's only so much you can do when the time's been done. Let them hit the ball and the outcome will be there, however it is, right? You can't
Right.
change it after it's done. That was nice. I like that.
Cool.
Um, when we think of meditation, obviously another thing that we had put up that we were going to talk about is yoga. And though they're not necessarily the same, there's a lot of similarities or comparisons or fluidness between the two.
Hmm.
Um, and for you, you write in one of your posts, you said yoga and golf complement each other in so many ways. Golf is not a game that requires power, flexibility, and balance. It is a game
Not
that demands.
not only a game, not only a game.
Ah, correct. Not only a
Yeah.
game. Sorry, I
Yes.
quoted incorrectly. My apologies. It is a game. It is games that demand a calm nervous system.
Yeah.
And when you blend the principles of yoga with golf, it helps to create the foundation for success in the game. Where can now is using yoga, is there places you would use it within the golf course? Or is this more of a before you get to the golf course, getting yourself into the zone, doing what you would want to do morning or pre or post the game, and allow
Yeah.
meditation to be something that helps you more within the game?
I would say what we just did. Um, yeah, yoga. Uh, Yoga to me is a practice that incorporates just what we've done and what we just did through breathing. But it is all about tuning into your breath and coming into your body. It's all about body awareness and connecting the mind and body together. And you may do some poses while you do that.
Okay.
Meditation, you may or may not move your body. There are people who do. There's people who like
Mm-hmm.
you can do walking meditations and whatnot. So for me, they're kind of a little bit more interchangeable. I guess for me, yoga is just more of where I may be doing more poses you know, that would stretch me out or lengthen me out. So I would do that definitely post round, absolutely.
Okay.
Um, uh, yeah, prior, anytime really. I think yoga is always a benefit at any time that we want to do it. But in terms of just coming back to the breath and back to the body, I think that to know that that's available at any time of the day when we're feeling a level of stress or worry is so huge, because then we don't need to go down rabbit holes. It's easy to
Yeah.
go down a rabbit hole of anger or sadness or worry, whatever's going on in our life. And so those things can just take us out of that for a moment and bring us back to, okay, what matters right now? I am good. I am well. All is well.
All is well, and I am good. There's definitely things that would help you out when you're, well, obviously in life, but specifically, it could help you out in the golf course because everything else is against you. Um, yeah, I can see that. I know the greatest thing about yoga for me is that it's definitely become something that had gone through some realms of should you do yoga, should you not, to more of a, there's at a certain point in time, your muscles are always going to stay stiff, right? If you don't loosen them up, and your ability to be more relaxed is going to be harder as you get older. So it's not that it's only for those who are older, but I know
Yeah.
for myself, I used to look at a friend of mine who was older and they would do yoga every day, and I'd say, "Why are you so stiff? Why is this?" I'd be in my early 20s thinking, "What are you talking about? Like that, I'm good. I don't have to do any of that." And I tell you, once you get to another age, it changes pretty
Oh, yeah.
quickly, and it's just
Crazy, eh?
impossible, right? To feel open. So for me, I totally see it as something that I don't see how you would not want to just stay loose, right? While you're playing the game.
Yeah, absolutely. If this is a game of that you can play until any age, as long as you're healthy, and to be able to sustain suppleness in your body and mobility is just massively important. Um, yeah. So I think you're right. I think we get to an age where we just feel those like aches and pains, and um, so if we can make it into a bit more of a common or practice, then yeah, I think we'll see the benefit down the road
I like that.
for sure. Yeah.
Megan, this has been nice. I've really enjoyed going through this, and I think people are going to take these two wonderful abilities that we can use and techniques we can use to really help our game.
Cool.
Thanks a lot for
Awesome.
being on. You're the
All
best.
right. Sounds
Thanks,
good.
buddy.